a place where everybody knows your name. Laughter fills the air like a sweet refrain. Sit and share a story, but I drink or two. In this cozy bar, where dreams come true, where smiles and friends remain, and good times ease the pain. Here we go again.
Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you let me know? That'd be just swell. Steve-O, how you doing, buddy? Okay? Casper, you alright? Botrix has correctly joined the channel. Makes a change. Oh, man. Ginger's crossed that this holds and we don't get any major kerfuffles with the camera, especially. Hopefully. You see me and hear me. Thank you, Casper. Mucho apreciado, as they say in Japan. Oh. Let's open the window slightly. It's very warm. I've just got out the shower as well. Obviously, I always have a shower before the stream. Make sure I'm all nice and clean for you. All good, good, good. I have been absolutely exhausted this weekend. Not just this weekend, to be honest with you. This started off on Thursday, I think it was. Just felt completely and utterly shattered. So yesterday I was supposed to be going to the match. And I never fell asleep. Got to about 9 o'clock in the morning. I thought, right, just get up. Get up, get yourself a cup of tea, get sorted. At that point I fell asleep. And woke up 5 to 3. Just before kick-off. So, yeah. And then today, similar kind of thing. Stayed in bed till about 2, I think it was, and then Jess needed a lift. Thursday at 9 o'clock it was minus 12, and now Sunday at 9 it's 14.9. It's crazy, isn't it? Similar here. Let's have a look what the weather is here now. It's 11 degrees here. It's stupid. Just had to swap tablets. Are they all sorted now, Mandy? That because what happened Wednesday night. It's not. It just, I don't know what it is. It's just absolute fatigue. It's down to the stroke. And there was an article, I think today or yesterday, where Streeton was talking about it. About strokes. And he had some figures in there that I'd never seen before. And 80% of people have a TIA, which is a trans-ischemic attack, which is a blockage in the cells, or sorry, in the, wherever it is at the back of your head. And that causes the blood not to flow, which causes an issue. But it's not as bad as what I had, obviously. I had to go in with 2 feet, didn't I? Right in at the deep end and have a massive hemorrhagic stroke where that blockage burst. And apparently I'm lucky to be alive. More lucky than I realised. So overcoming that and improving day by day is exceptionally tiring. I have been sort of dealing with it and managing it as best I can by having naps. And it sounds stupid. I'll drop Jess off in the morning at work and I'll be back home before 9 o'clock. So I've been awake for 2 hours. Then from about 10 o'clock onwards, I'll have a half-hour nap. That's it, just half an hour. That half hour makes all the difference in the world. And then, of late, I've not been able to do it. No matter how hard I try, I've not been able to have that little half-hour nap. Occasionally, I've been asleep for 2 hours in that time. And then that's knackered me for the rest of the day. But, you know, I'll get there. I'll get there. When you've had that kind of injury, the body decides and the brain decides on any given day how you're going to feel. So on some days, I just wake up feeling great. Other days, I'm like, get me out of here. I am falling apart. Go and lock me in a cupboard somewhere and I'll be alright. Super windy, yes, very, very windy. Very, very wind, as Gerard Deulofeu used to call it. Very, very wind. It is. We've been alright. It's been windy, but it's not been too bad. But I see Wales has been absolutely demolished by it, hasn't it? Bits of the UK in general have been smashed everywhere by the wind, but Wales especially has really borne the brunt of it. Very windy over there as well, Steve. Very windy. We should be used to it, really, shouldn't we? Because of where we are. There's nothing between us and the Americas, where a lot of the wind comes from. And a lot of it's coming from the south, isn't it? Which is why it feels warm. That wind is coming from Africa. Man, you can't get the hang of naps. It's all or nothing. They have to be managed, otherwise you can get them spectacularly wrong. A half hour, I find, is the perfect sweet spot. But you need to be careful. If it goes more than half hour, you're knackered. Literally. Saved me going to a very bad game. It did, thankfully, but we haven't got many of them left at Goodison, so I don't really want to be missing them, and I have had to, unfortunately. Storm Bert. Who names these things? These things are named by the first country that sees them. The one that spots them first. What they should have is, genuinely, there should be the next hurricane. We should try and get it to be called Higgins. I'd love the Hurricane Higgins causing all kinds of trouble in Northern Ireland, just like he used to do. Wind gusts over 22 metres per second, which is pretty hefty, that, isn't it? Barnesy, you can't really chat. Your tablet's broken. It's too hard on your phone. Ah, no worries, mate. Nice to see you anyway. Hopefully get it sorted, or otherwise I'll do an Oprah. Win the lottery and do an Oprah. New tablet for you, new tablet for you, new tablet for you, all one of those kind of things. 10 minutes medium wind is 16 metres per second. I went out, like I said, I took Jess to the shops earlier on, and it was weird because it was windy. It's not as bad as it is in the rest of the country, but it's like a normal windy day at the coast. But that wind was warm, and we're not used to it the last sort of week or two. An actual warm wind. It was mad. To the point where you had to leave the house to go and get warmed up. Mandy, you're having tablet problems too. Must be the weather. I'd blame the weather. It is. Must be the weather. Tablet bashing weather. Sorry, I'm currently being bombarded with requests from people to help out with my channel. SEO work proposals. SEO means search engine optimization. I mean, genuinely, those who've seen my content on the channel, how the fuck hell would anyone be searching for that? Tall stroke victim talks about things from his past. It's not an SEO kind of shite, is it? Dreading Storm Ernie. They've got to do them in duos, haven't they? There's got to be a Bert and Ernie in the same year. Laz, how you doing, bud? You okay? Happy fucking potatoes. Let's have a read at what she said. This is Tanya this time round. Are you interested in my YouTube SEO work proposal? No, I'm not. You can't search for this shit. It's browse only. We can help you. No, you can't. Seriously, you can't. I know these things. There's a pre-Christmas signal that tablets get. There definitely will be for iPads because Apple are evil. And we're actually fined, weren't they, by the European Union for deliberately making their older phones slow down, so you had to go and buy a new one. Not bad. More tiny things to paint. Just big buggers now. What's better? The little tiny ones, you get more enjoyment out of doing them, or the massive big bastards? It does go alphabetically boy, girl in naming storms. And like I say, whichever country spots it first on the map, on the the radar map, gets to choose what it's called. This was named by the Irish Weather Service, who've obviously been given an absolute solid warning not to start calling it sort of Kievan or those weird spelled ones, as your average French, Spanish and whoever are also involved wouldn't be able to understand how you get those names from those words, mad. Big ones are easier, they don't need magnifying glasses. Yeah, they might be easy, but do you enjoy doing them more, or the small ones? Do you get more enjoyment out of it? A sense of achievement from doing the small ones, if you know what I mean. Oh, it is warm. You know what you call the next one beginning with C? Naughty, Mandy, naughty. Catastrophe, is that what you're talking about? I'm surprised there hasn't been another one already. They normally come in like 3 or 4, don't they? One on the back of another one. Yes, the scarlet smear across the park seem to be walking away with the title. Man City don't seem to be remotely interested. I love that. City are having a crisis. The second in the table, 60 million points ahead of Everton, but they're having a crisis. I'd settle for that kind of crisis, getting into the Champions League every year. But you've had it for 5 years, but you're cheap, so you wait for the sales. If it's working-ish, keep with it and wait for the sales. Don't be forced into doing stuff like that by those ruinous companies. Cutie pie, obviously. What was I thinking? I wouldn't like to say what I was thinking because it would get me banned off YouTube anyway. It's about the same for the large and the smalls. You get more enjoyment doing it for the missus. Wouldn't paint anything that's small of your own volition. That's fair enough. But it's nice being able to do something for someone else, no matter how much of a ball ache it might be. Maybe that's what I should start doing. If you can do it one-handed, little painting things. Probably couldn't though, could I, one-handed? Airfix, I couldn't do that one-handed either. There's nothing you can do one-handed. But I'll get there. Like I say, that article, when it went into how difficult the recovery is from a hemorrhagic stroke, surprised me, the numbers. So when people are expecting me to be fully recovered within 2 years, it's like, no. This is possibly a lifelong issue that I have now. Possibly. We shall say. Black Friday deals now, they're on for a week. It's not even a week. It's they call it Black November. They call it something, don't they? It's a full month now. It's mad. It's working fine, but it won't charge up. A ball like that is. The bear you got from Graham is a monster. You can paint that bugger one-handed if you secure it first. That's the thing, isn't it? Securing stuff. If you can secure it, I suppose it's like having a second hand, isn't it? Play the piano one-handed. You'll teach me. I have got a keyboard, a little MIDI keyboard, and I just can't get my head around it. It's the wrong way round. Having the rhythm on my left and the lead on the right, and that hand being that way rather than that way. I just can't get my head around it at all. I know some triads. I don't mean, the Yakuza and people like that. I know some triads. I know sort of know chords, but I can't play them quickly or anything. But I've been, overnight, because I've been struggling to sleep, I've had a really good dark ambient playlist on Spotify. The kind of thing I was listening to in the hospital, which helped. So I thought I'll go back to that. Bluetooth headphones, sleep mask on, dark ambient tunes, and then even if I'm not going to sleep, I can just lie there and chill. And I'm listening to it thinking I can do this easily. Easily. I understand melody. I can do decent melodies. I can do any of this. But I can't do it. I need to try. I need to get my head around the software that I'm using. How to record properly. Yeah. And stop every time I plug everything in and start. Stop pretending that you're New Order or Electronica, people like that, or Depeche Mode. You're not. You'll just be disappointed, so I'm not going to do that. What the hell? Got a mad warning on my YouTube there. Speaking of Black Friday deals, if this works, there's a Black Friday deal on the merch. If anyone's watching this on the replay, in the pinned, it's on till some other time at the end of November. Some fabulous stuff on there, and I've got another couple of designs ready to go on. Casper, you're going to give me a lesson? Marvellous, I need to. Steve, your father played golf one handed for 18 months when he got a shoulder problem. He actually got quite good at it. That reminds me, there's a fella that used to live in Southport, a one-armed window cleaner, who was absolutely incredible at golf, exactly the same thing. Taught himself how to play one-handed, and he's played off a better handicap than most club players. Technique is key when it comes to stuff like that, isn't it? I love the fact that he never said, that's it, I can't do it. I've got to behave myself for 18 months. I've got to stay at home. No, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to teach myself. Fantastic stuff. If you overcharge a device, it forgets what zero charge is. A phone shop has a way to zero it. You could do it, but it takes hours of faffing. I would Google it and find out and see if you can faff it. We're faffing. And I hope they like faffing too. Ooh, yeah. Ali, how are you doing? You okay? Casper, yes, that's to train your left more than your right when learning the piece. It's technique and the repetition. Yeah, I understand that completely from playing guitar. And it's exactly the same with playing guitar as well. My left hand, I have to teach more, obviously, because that's where the chords and the lead are from. And it is just repetition over repetition over repetition to get muscle memory. So your hand knows where to go without even looking. But it is, I just can't get my head around it. The old piano. The gremlins got sorted. Whisper it quietly, Ali. They haven't got sorted yet. Ali, up first with the pinking handing. It's a mare you tried and gave up. Them's quitting words, Mandy. Them's quitting words. That's the kind of thing I enjoy doing. Now, if there's a problem, tech-wise, I like learning how to do it. How can you fix it? What you need to do to fix it? Can I follow the instructions and get it working? Love doing stuff like that. Yep. How's Helen, the Norfolk correspondent, doing remarkable work in the field? And Ruby. Mandy. You want a bucket of hot chocolate, Mandy? There you go. There's your bucket of hot chocolate. All good in the hood, blood. Very nice. Are we all keeping safe? It takes hours, doesn't matter. If it takes hours, it takes hours. It's getting to the end of it and fixing it and walking away going, look, I've done this. That's the main thing. I love that. I used to be quite good. I used to be quite tech savvy. Not as good these days, but things don't break as often, do they? Steve believes in miracoils. What a lovely bed that was. Tea and two twice. For Laz and Frau Sparkles. Fraulein Sparkles. Do I know my reach on the keys? You can do a 10. Rachmaninoff had really begun, so we could do 13. An octave is 8. Yeah, it's 8 full notes and 4 semitones, isn't it, an octave? It's... You have to be careful talking about this, because apparently your reach is the same size as another part of your anatomy, so obviously I've got a massive reach. My mate was a fantastic keyboard player. Used to annoy the life out of me because we were all learning guitar and bass and what have you, and he was already just absolutely superb on the keyboards. You want a bucket of tea as well? A bucket of tea. A nice bucket of tea. Unless of course you want your bucket of hot chocolate. I like that. Kev, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you. Nice. 9 inches at a full stretch. That's more than enough for anyone, that Les. Does the hot chocolate come with marshmallows? You can have it any way you want in this gaff. Maybe you shouldn't have said that. It's good enough for anyone, that Les. Good enough for anyone. It has to be your reach is defo bigger than your rooster. Is that because you practice with that more? Don't believe that for a second. I didn't say that's not tried and tested, by the way. It's just that's the theory. That's what they say around our way. Which is why a lot of sportsmen, when they score a goal or whatever it is, run to the crowd and go like that. Showing off. Terrible behaviour. That is a fantastic cup of tea. In a thermos, because I am worth it. Thermos. Come on, step up to the plate. Give me some free stuff. I want 3 thermos eye. Right back, Ali. No worries. Mandy's marshmallows on the screen there. Controversial. We'll say a quick hello to the 6,000 people watching on Twitch. There's nobody watching on Twitch. You've got a theory that says nose size is relevant. It is, and also nose size is supposed to be something to do with that as well. There's lots of correlations between parts of your body and other parts of your body. Your foot is supposed to be from there to there. So the longer the forearm, the longer the foot. There's loads of, or that way. Your nose is supposed to be the same size as your thumb and things like that. Loads of mad stuff. It's being streamed to Twitch at the same time. Trying to test things and make sure they work. Because you never know, at some point 6,000 people could appear from a place where 6,000 people are and start making me millions on Twitch. It's not going to happen, but you never know, do you? Not even Thomas. Thomas is nowhere to be seen yet. Your nose bridge is as long as the 2 outer joints of your index finger. that how it works? There's loads of these correlations. The forearm foot thing is true. You've tried it. I watched a BBC documentary on measurements, which is a really strange thing to watch, but it was fascinating. And it was things like is it a conch shell? It's just got loads of little compartments inside it, and each one is exactly a percentage of the next one to a mathematical degree, like a Fibonacci scale. It's absolutely amazing, and these things grow naturally. It's insane, but there's loads of that. It's the same size as this, the same size as that. You've had a good run, but all things must come to an end. They must. Very profound for a Sunday night, that. Yeah, the inside of the forearm is definitely the same length as your foot, which... I have long arms. It says a lot about my feet. But that thing about the BBC 4 documentary about sizes and measurements was absolutely incredible. There is the world meter, which is a 1 meter length piece of metal, which is stored somewhere in, is it France? And that is the world's measurement for a meter. Everything has to be measured off that 1 meter. And just all the story behind it was incredible. Worth watching. I wasn't Googling how to measure things, by the way, before you start worrying. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea? A nice cup of tea. How's everything with the lecky, Mandy? Is it still working? Did it survive the storm? The 1 kilo as well? Yeah. They are kept somewhere so they can be measured against. There's a measurement of is it a second? An accurate measurement of a second, which is weird because seconds take longer depending on where you are. The further towards the centre of the earth you are, the longer a second is. In comparison, in relativity, if you're on a plane thousands of feet above the earth compared to someone who's in a submarine in the Mariana Trench, your time moves at a different time, a different scale. This is far too heavy for a Sunday night, this, isn't it? How am I feeling? How's the family? The family is sound. I, on the other hand, am feeling like 10 kilos of shite in a 5 kilo sack. But it'll be sound. It'll be alright. Because the car exploded last week, or, went knackered last week, I hadn't seen Jess since, was it Thursday last week? Not last week, the week before. And I didn't get to see her until today. Over a week. And she rang me up. Are you doing anything? Can you give me a lift? Yeah, no worries. Went and picked her up, took her to the shop round the corner from us, and then took her home and got a hug. Much needed. So I would say my mood has been improved today thanks to that. Shouldn't have left it in France. Never know what they'll do with it. They're sneaky, the French, aren't they? Sneaky French devils. It's not used for a metre or kilo anymore. They use mathematical equations now. I know, but it's a signifier, isn't it? This is the Wales metre for a metre, and this is the Wales metre for a kilo. Symbolic, if nothing else. Everything's based on those two things. It's amazing. I love reading about stuff like that, or watching TV programmes, even better where they show you it. The same as Greenwich Mean Time and John Harrison and his, I was going to say watches, they're not watches, are they? They're chronometers. Seafaring chronometers, so you can tell where you are in the world. Absolutely incredible stuff. I've been to London quite a few times. I've never been to Greenwich. I need to go there at some point. Just checked. Peer reviewed, as all science should be. Ali, out of all your bruises gone? Where's your bruises gone? Where's your bruises gone? Casper is full of facts, he is. Laden, absolutely laden with facts. Alias bruise free. And lessons learned. That's the main thing, isn't it? Lessons learned. Covering your laces now whenever you're running home as fast as the wind can take you. Go to Greenwich just to find out how mean the time actually is. It's very, very mean because Monday to Friday drags and Saturday to Sunday flies by. Very mean. But I'd like to go there and do that thing that all tourists do, where you've got the line, the Greenwich Meridian, and they all stand with one foot on one side and one on the other, so they can say they've stood in both sides of the centre line, which is not even the centre line anymore. They put it in the wrong place, but it's just there now for people to take pictures of. That's a true story. Go and Google it. We'll have to have a word from today's sponsor as well, won't we? Bearspace. Hang on. We make websites, you make websites. Fair enough. We never updated time laws after atomic clocks came into use, so Denmark is technically a quarter of a second behind the world in terms of time. Wow. Are they arsed though? You're sticking with the cider. Cider with Barnsley, great book. Helps with the trauma. Or screech, as we used to call it, cider. That's what it was called in the pub. A pint of screech, because that's the kind of headache it gives you in the morning. Bear to strip the trees. Naughty Bert. Steve, you signed a petition for another general election today. Signed at 11 this morning, there was 750,000. 3 this afternoon, it's up to 1.2 million. Nothing will come of it at all. I think the request to have a general election before the one that just went was up to about 3 million, and it never happened. I'd like a petition to actually get a Labour government in rather than this shower of bastards. And stop parachuting people into safe seats. Centrism needs to disappear for a while as well. If you want to go full right, go full right. If you want to go full left, go full left. None of this in between bollocks, because you don't get the best of both worlds, you get the worst of both worlds. I remember having a conversation with someone on Twitter. Yes, honestly, a conversation with someone. Proud to be a centrist. So, well, would you believe in PFI contracts? Private Finance Initiative. Well, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, well, funnily enough, HMRC had private finance for the buildings that they owned, and it was owned by a company in Jersey, which meant all the rent that HMRC paid, they couldn't claim any tax back on it whatsoever, and ended up paying way above what they should have done. And then cost them a fortune having to build 13 regional centres. Doesn't work. Are you for privatisation or against it? Well, it depends. Fucking behave. You're one or t'other. You can't be both. Can't be both. How very dare you, Bert? You've got a general election on Friday. Is that the normal day to have them? That's an unusual one, isn't it? I'd have thought that would have been a most stupid day to have an election in Ireland. Friday. Most people not finish work early and go to the pub. That's why we have them on Thursdays over here. It's the most beige of days, isn't it? People are bored on a Thursday. It's not the weekend yet. But it's not Monday, so everyone will go and do something on a Thursday. Vote, go on, yes, sorry, I'll go and vote. But, Steve, that's the whole thing, isn't it? We're in a alleged democracy, because it's not really democratic, but you should be allowed to ask for these things. It's not really a democracy when you've got 4 billionaires who are based out of the UK telling you who you should and shouldn't vote for. Murdoch, Rothermere, Barclay and all them lot. Because we often forget, folks, do you have phone lines and stuff knocked over? Do you do? Or your cables are below ground? Which is fantastic, and it should be much better for the infrastructure. But also, you don't get the beautiful pylons like we do, stretching for hundreds and hundreds of miles. Works of art. Have I bought any decorations for my mini tree? I almost did last week, and I didn't, because I thought I was going to need every spare penny for fixing of the whip. Which, Steve, you said, didn't you, it was going to be between £600 and £700 to fix the car? £620 on the dot. And even then, he done me a favour by using OEM parts rather. So it saved me about another 150. But I'm happy. It's still going to go back in at some point after Christmas, because the lower ball arm, lower ball joint on one of them is starting to get a bit loose, which is one of the little bits that I never got done last time. So we knew it was coming up, but I'm going to get it done, I think, after the Christmas and New Year period. Get it taken in and then gingers crossed. That should be it for about another 2 years. But I have now got cash spare, so I'll buy some decorations for the mini tree. Might start putting them on slightly, just little bit by little bit. Keir Starmer isn't well liked. He's despised by the right wingers. He's hated by the centrists, and he's absolutely despised by the left wingers. He's nothing. He's Mr. Barraclough from Porridge, is what he is. He's his name perfectly, Keir Starmer, because he is like a fucking yoghurt. It's ridiculous. All the backbone of a yoghurt. But he's been parachuted in to do his master's bidding, which is to allow things to carry on around the world as they are right now, when they shouldn't be. It's a lot. It is, but it's a Mercedes. I've mentioned this before. There's a great channel called SPR Autos, which is in Stockport. It's the Mercedes specialists. And Sam, the main dude who owns it, always says the same thing. No matter what goes wrong on a Mercedes, it costs £1,000. You know, new engine, £1,000. Pair of tyres, £1,000. New air freshener, £1,000. AMG always stands for all money gone. They cost a few quid, but once they're sorted, even mine, which is 20 years old next year, still drives fantastic, and it's still relatively sound. It's had the belt snapped last week because these things happen, but apart from that, it's been fantastic, so I don't mind. Novelty earrings get to Claire's. I'm not allowed in Claire's accessories anymore. One of my most liked and retweeted tweets was talking about my nephew Morgan, who's 23 now, isn't he? When he was about two or three, they were in a taxi, my mum, Morgan, and my sister, whose mum it is, and they went past Claire's accessories in Southport, and he went, when I was a big boy and I was a fireman, I used to go in that pet shop and point at Claire's accessories. The elderly taxi driver almost crashed and said, that used to be a pet shop when I was a lad. So of course my sister, who's constantly saluting magpies and shit like that, oh my god, he sees dead people. Yeah, if it was Attlee, Bevan, proper Labour. We had our chance, and unfortunately Jeremy Corbyn doesn't believe in what's happening in the Middle East, and is quite vocal about it, so that wasn't allowed to happen. Against our democratic wishes, it wasn't allowed to happen. No pleasure in getting that guesstimate right. Steve, the thing is though, you knew exactly how much it was going to be, mate. I had a good idea it was going to be around about that much. It had a new water pump, new auxiliary belts, 2 tensioner pulleys, two idler pulleys and a tensioner. It melted the tensioner. There's a plastic tensioner and it melted it. He said, I've not seen that before. A seized water pump and a melted tensioner. So, yeah, and all the backing plates were done as well. But it's sorted, man. Sorted out for E-Series and Wiz. The voting is on till 9 p.m. I think ours open at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and is open till 10. Voting closes at 10 o'clock. Does Claire still exist? I don't know. I don't know. You've heard that reincarnation story you thought was an urban myth. No, my nephew. I mean, I've heard loads of urban myths and it's a load of shite, but he was only 2 or 3. He had no idea and just pointed and said, like, he used to say that all the time when I was a big boy and I had a dog. But you haven't had a fucking dog. What are you talking about? When I was a big boy. When he said that and pointed at Claire's accessories, I used to go in that pet shop. My ma believes in all that, my sister does, but I just thought, is it a coincidence? Or is there little pockets of time just hanging around places, and if you zoom through one, you suddenly become infected with the memories of people that were there at that time? Is that what it is? You weren't there. It's a flashback of someone else's memory, because memories are, I don't know, if they're in the brain, they're an electrical impulse. Electric can hang around, can't it? Who knows? 20-year-old wear and tear, exactly. And it's cost me a few quid so far. Far more than it would have done if I'd have bought another Toyota or Nissan little shitbox. Never had to do anything with them whatsoever. But it's a nicer car. It's more comfortable to be in. Much nicer. If it's costing me a few quid, I'm not spending it on wine anyway, so I don't mind doing it. And I can look out and there she is. Needs a wash though. I didn't bother getting it done the other day because it was absolutely horrendous. I thought I'll go in there, get it washed, and by the time I get out, it'll be absolutely minty yet again. Probably just needs a new driver. It should do. I should be in the back. I should have an E-Class really, shouldn't I, or an S-Class. A big S-Class with a driver called Giles. I say, Giles, take me home and don't spare the horses. One of those. I need to look into the ball spinner on it though. It's starting to squeak, which is really annoying me. I don't know if it needs a bit of grease on it or will that make it undrivable. I'll have to look into it. But it was so nice picking it up. Picked it up on Thursday. About 4:30-ish I think it was. My dad drove me up there. Got it, had a quick chat with Ian. Ian at Tri-Point Autos in Southport, by the way. What a dude. Lovely couple who run the business as well. Had a nice chat with them. Lovely people. But driving it home, I've missed it so much. Even just driving to Tesco or driving to the front and pissing about doing a live stream or something. I love it. Love it. Black cars this time of year are not good. Steve, black cars any time of the year are not good, especially if you live anywhere near the coast. It'll be the same where you are. It rains, it dries, and the place is just covered in sand everywhere, and black and white cars look awful. That's why I normally take mine to get done once a week. I need to get that sorted. I think the alloys need refurbing. That's going to cost about 300 quid though, so I'll have to wait. Yeah, once I get the ball joint done on it, I might then get the wheels done. New set of tyres all round. Proper ones, Pirellis or Michelin. At which point it'll be absolutely perfect, and of course it'll get hit by a meteor or something, won't it? When your sister got home after your grandmother died, it was on for the first time in months, one of those electric candle things. Wow. Mad, innit? I am convinced there's a sort of, I don't know, there's an electrical charge that we have anyway, I know that, but I think those things hang around a little bit. Not necessarily means it's the spirit of someone, but I don't know. Could be. You never know. Your roads are covered in mud from all the sugar beet harvest and the loading of lorries. Shite absolutely everywhere, isn't it? I know what you mean. We don't get it round here, thankfully. There's some farms around there, but they're not that bad. But when they were building this estate, everywhere was just completely caked in mud for months and months and months. Euro Millions of stupid money on Tuesday. 173 million. Here we go. We'll win it on Tuesday and build a proper bear's paw somewhere with free ale. Free ale for all the regulars. Same there, is it, Casper? Just no getting away from it, isn't it? Yeah, that would do, wouldn't it? You could get away with that. I think I could live on that, just about. I could stretch that to the next 25 years or so. Imagine how much good you could do with that as well. Just helping people out. Does Claire still exist? Says Tomash. It does. Every time you see one, went out with Mrs. Tom, you drive a mad singing, look at the Claire's accessories. Oh, very nice. Forget about your money. Here's me wife. Yep. So it does exist. Dice out, absolutely. Diana Sean, as he's getting called at the moment. It would be lovely. Getting all them Dwayne Eddies coming in. Is sugar beet a big thing there? Could be. Yeah, could do an Engelbert. Build a mini estate with its own locals only pub. That would be fantastic. Proper. I'd do that, you know. Proper. Really would. Like Michael Owen did when he bought part of North Wales, didn't he? For all his family. They all live in this mad big cul-de-sac with huge houses. Does sound like a Radio Merseyside ad from the 90s, doesn't it? And along with buy a bike, get down to Charnock, Richards Cycles. And 708 7080, if you need a cab, just let us know. Phone Davey, live a cabs. Things stick in your mind, don't they? Well, they do if you live anywhere near Merseyside, obviously. Can it be seen? It can, can't it? Oh, no, sorry, there. I know they look similar because that one's Ireland and that one there's Italia. Sweden is up the top. So I have put the two new flags up on the board as well. Miss Ford, in fact. Sweden. Sverige. Do you do the beet itself or the actual harvest? You can't beat the beet. I went to Cuba that day, Cuba, and stayed in a really, really sort of 5-star resort kind of thing. But instead of just being there, we decided to do the colourful Cuba tour where he took you to the really poor parts, which was great. Seeing what the place is actually like. And we went to a sugar plantation where they made rum. Piggly ding, next. Piggly dung, piggly ding, piggly dung, piggly ding, next. Who wants to go behind the bar next? Let me know, put your hand up. But it was great going there and seeing what they do with the sugar beet once it's picked and how they make rum. It would have been an absolutely superb film set. Tomasz. Dice out. Your head is full of them. 708 7080. It's Davey live at cabs. 708 7080. If you need a cab, just let us know. Phone Davey live at cabs. And I don't even listen to commercial. I don't listen to radio at the moment. Certainly don't listen to commercial radio. So, but I remember all those ones. Un beverage, the mortgage point. One of the worst ones. One of the worst, genuinely soul-chilling adverts was used to be on the way to the match all the time, which was blood in your poo or loose poo. The way the fella said it. What? Phone a doctor immediately. So I'm stopping the car now just in case. Beating the sugar is universal. You meant farming, of course. Lots of people like a sugar beet. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Earl Grey tea from a thermos because I'm worth it. Come on, thermos. Sugar beet is huge business on the East Coast, is it? 3 huge factories, one near Norwich, Kings Lynn and Newark. Kings Lynn, Southport played Kings Lynn yesterday. Kings Lynn won 1-0, by the way. That's a hell of a trip, that, isn't it, for the Nationwide League Northern. How the fucking hell are Kings Lynn? Oxford, they played the other week as well. Oxford and Kings Lynn are in the northern section. Newark. Are there many factories near Norwich in that kind of sort of massive type things? Mike Reed, 278 and 285, Mike Reed. Let me L with the Earl Grey. Tepid like yesterday's atmosphere. I never made it there. Never made it. And by the sound of it, never missed anything. Apart from the opportunity to do some filming. Who else is in? Casper? Yep. T2 twice. Yep. Tomash, how are you feeling? How are you feeling in yourself? How are you feeling? You're alright in yourself. How's Mrs. Tom? Can you hear me, Mrs. Tom? Domingos Duarte. Poor Ingles. Of course. With a little bit of Coke. Teddy Salted. Plenty of them in stock. We got a new delivery of the week. It's a joke, it is. I know they have to split the country in two based on the amount of teams that are in that particular league. So if there's a lot more southern teams who've made it up towards that league, it has to be split somewhere. But that's not really north, is it? Oxford and bloody Kings Lynn. And especially when those teams have got no money and have to go from, I don't know, Kings Lynn to the likes of, where's one of the Barrow down there, or are they still in the league? Cumbria, Northumberland, huge distances, it's mad. You like a beer? Of course, Thomas. Coleman Mustard Factory was near Norwich, of course, until it was bought out a few years ago. Infamous Coleman's Mustard in Norwich. In fact, we had a t-shirt, didn't we? A fan t-shirt with Seamus Coleman on the front with Coleman's Mustard. You're consumed by Everton ennui. I know the feeling. Mrs. Tom is hungover. A hungover Mrs. Tom. Oh, Domingo's the only normal one. Domingo's not normal, he's special. He's a king amongst cats. Coke in a bottle so you can chew on the observation that Everton lack bottle. As we rarely do. Not so much manufacturing happening in Norfolk anymore. It's moved out, doesn't it? Unfortunately. A bucket of hot chocolate, there you go. With Tia Maria chocolate sprinkles. No doubt about it. Yes, get well soon, Mrs. Tom. Domingo, keep an eye. Let us know what he's made. See you in a bit. A pint of Chang. a Thai beer. Thai's involved with Leicester, who've sacked their weird-looking managers today, which is what Everton should do. Absolutely 100%. I would quite happily get Steve Cooper as a manager with us at the moment, but I don't think he'd have been allowed into the stadium because he looks too much like a County Road baghead. Every time I look at him, looks like he's just woke up or he's walking down County Road going, mate, give us a ciggy, will you? I don't smoke. That's up your ass, mate, give us a ciggy. All drinks served with an Everton comment. Yeah, the most famous factory is definitely Lotus in Norwich, with the infamous yellow and green livery as well. Fantastic cars. Slightly too expensive and slightly too small for me, I think, but you know, they are spectacular. Thanks to the absolute genius of Colin Chapman. I was going to say Graham Chapman there, but stop that, that's silly. Yes, Cat Speak, have you seen that one, Tomash? Say ma-ah, and Domingo should come directly towards you. The boozy bucket of hot chocolate was apparently served in the home dressing room at half-time yesterday, which would explain why they were so lethargic. Off the pace. Off their nuts. I didn't even watch Match of the Day. How bad's that? I couldn't, as I was pretty much falling asleep on the sofa most of the day. Same as earlier. I got up, got out of bed, dragged the song lyric around my head. The danger of the comfort blanket. It was the comfort blanket I was under. That's the problem, you see. Got up, sat on the sofa, made myself a cup of tea, and then my eyes were starting to ache slightly because of the brightness. So I put my comfort blanket over my head and fell asleep promptly. You had a cat years ago with whom conversation could be held. Domingo was neither particularly talkative nor receptive. He spontaneously yowls. Makes cute activation noises but doesn't listen. Like a typical man. Typical man. Not much manufacturing anywhere, there isn't. I love the fact that we keep getting told we should provide for ourselves. We should grow our own food when you can't because the climate's wrong and there's not enough space in the country to grow, nor to house all the food that we need. We don't manufacture anything because it's been shut down. Even the last steel manufacturer we paid, was it £500 million? And they went, yeah, we'll take that, we'll keep it open. Cha-ching, thank you, by the way, we're closing it. Be right back, no worries, Ali. The Tractor Boys nearly pulled off a surprise today. They did, I wasn't watching them, I was watching Swansea against Leeds, which was an amazing game. Absolutely totes amazeballs, as the kids say. Try the ma'a thing. It does work, apparently, doesn't it? If it doesn't work, you're just walking around your house shouting ma'a, while people look at you and think, what's wrong with him? Yep, T2 twice of the team of balls. That'd be two more than Everton displayed yesterday. Nice comment. Wasn't even shoehorned that. That was skillfully woven in there. Mandy'd appreciate that. Some skillfully woven stuff in. Quality cup of char, that one. If the ma'a thing works, what else is there? What else do cats understand? There's got to be an entire language, a lexicon that we could use. You've never tried weaving? Yeah, but it's still under, over, isn't it? Like knitting, so I thought you'd appreciate it. You should try weaving. You should have a a loom in the house. A loom with a view. Because you can see Iruri and Irwitha from the house, obviously. Your money is no good here. Send it to F off Mashiri, L44EL. I love that postcode. Right on the envelope, the Daesh Out Fund, instead of Director of Football, obviously, DOF. Doing a response to pitch, so it's more tune rather than substance. You want some dinner? And he comes a running. They must know, mustn't they? Electricity is useful in feline training. That's shocking. Shocking. Maybe you want to get a loom when you win the Euro Millions. Buy next door. Or one of the houses by you that you don't like. Kick them out. Have a creative hub. Your own creative hub. That'd be boss, wouldn't you? Just imagine winning all that money. Being able to do what you felt like. Wake up one morning, it's windy and cold and snow everywhere. Balls to this, I'm going to Bali. Or I hate every bastard in our street, I'm buying the entire street. I might turn evil if I won all that money though. Proper. Build myself a base in a volcano, you know. Hank Scorpio style from The Simpsons. 173 million, that's heavy salad, that, man. Yeah, we do. We love that positive thinking, don't we? Are you even in the draw, Mandy? Are you? You forgot the Pringles. Terrible behaviour. Crispy crisps. What you wouldn't have given to see a pass like a crispy crisp Pringle yesterday. A crisp finish even. You're like most of your neighbours. Most is doing a heavy lift in there. That means it's not all. So the ones that you don't like, bin. Flatten the house with them in it. There you go. Don't flatten the house with those in it. I'm only joking, YouTube. I mistook the idea of leg day in the gym. Apparently it doesn't mean break people's, Jeff. You are disgusting, Jeff. You absolute sociopath. If you have the cash, man, you get a jazz loom. Ah, brilliant. Yes. A proper jazz loom. One that makes proper freeform jazz as you kerfuffle. Do you kerfuffle a loom? Is that what happens? The front and back motion is kerfuffling. I'm sure it is. If not, why not? A crisp finish, yep. One step at a time. Let's have a decent pass first. That's why we should have signed Nacho Monreal. A crisp finish from Nacho. You won a whole £2.70 last week. Increments, Mandy, increments. 30 quid this week. The next roll over the week after. Kirsty, sufficient boric, diuretic, quickfire, push, pick, cousin Bowery, tosh. Yes, I've heard loads of that. Loads of Bowery tosh from my cousins. Your neighbours returned from Disney World, Florida, and bought you a snow globe, so thanks for looking after the house. Florida, of course, infamous for its snow. Those on the other side have just sold up. Did you force them out by your actions? With you leaving to get rid of you? Our neighbours are sound. The ones over the road cut down the big trees last week. They've left the Christmassy type trees up, the firs, but they cut down 2 massive trees, which is a shame, but I understand why they did it. But they started cutting them down at 8 o'clock in the morning. Fucking chainsaws, man. No need for it. I bastardi. Kirsty, what would you like to drink? Something with bows in. You can't give a baby bows. Some bows for baby. Yes, it feels like a booze in it kind of day, doesn't it? Steve, if that was the Everton lineup yesterday, it would have been a huge improvement on the cloven hooved gobshites that was masquerading as footballers. I don't know how we do it. We take decent players, turn them into utter shite, and then we sign shite players, and then they rise to the occasion of being shite. You like to think they've left as a result of your criticisms over their inability to garden or take the bins in. Harsh but fair, I would say that one. If you are incapable of taking the bins in, you must leave. Done. Nothing sufficient about the Everton team yesterday, apart from the fact that they were sufficiently shit to not get 3 points. Somewhat with bows. It is. It's. You want something with booze that is chipped up to the back post. And in comes Thomas, leaping like a tin of salmon at the back post. You can tell her all about bows as part of your special bar service. There are plenty of them with Dinah Shawn around. Useless baldy ginger get. True story. Norwich played well at the highest ground in the country, and you got a Desmond. Was it West Brom you were paying? Didn't see that. Got a 2-2. That's not a bad result if that's the case. I think in the Championship, any result away from home against some of the better teams, if you can pick up a point or sneak a win, and then get your 3 points at home all the time, you'll do well. Who scored for West Bromwich Albion? My stream was so far behind that it was Laurie Cunningham and Cyril Regis. Agreed, well said. Yeah, it is one of those known things. If you're a football fan, you just know. Highest ground in the country is the Hawthorns, in the same way that the closest stadium to the River Mersey is. Of course. Closest ground to the Mersey. Mason Holgate, he scored, did he? For Baggies, boing, boing, Baggies. I didn't know, I'd never seen any of the results yesterday apart from Borough. We're going to the United match on Sunday. Not a chance. Kirsty, did you say Matt to your cats and did they cue him? City got smashed by Spurs. Made you feel better about your draw today. City are just one of those strange teams. They will put 8 past Real Madrid one week and then get battered at home by Forest or something. It's mad. Tranmere, Steve? Nope. Bramley Moore will upset the Mersey question, I think. Maybe by inches. It's not Tranmere. Hiya, Connor, how are you doing, bud? It is Stockport, indeed. Edgeley Park, Stockport, is the nearest ground to the River Mersey because it literally goes straight past the stadium. So Bramley Moor might be closer, but I don't think it's by much. Unless being on the riverside in general makes it next to the Mersey. But yeah, that could be a quiz question disappeared. Holgate, Iwobi and Barkley all scored. Holgate will never get in the Everton team again, hopefully. Iwobi and Barkley would make a huge difference to us at the moment. Anything more than shite is aspirational, should be applauded. 100% agree. Sorry, Mandy. Fußball. Iwobi's goal was amazing. Iwobi was a fantastic player. Just wasn't used correctly by us. And still never sulked. Never disappeared down to London to start talking to his agent or anything. He got his head down and worked his way back into the team. I like that. I haven't seen his goal though. Match of the day got completely and utterly swerved. You seen the rugby? I never watched any of that either. My rugby doesn't start until February, which I can't wait for. Interesting to see whether or not Wigan managed to do what they did last year. So another great footballing quiz question this week. What did Man United in the Champions League have to do with Hull going down? Ooh. Hull going down. Hull. Did they have a rearranged fixture because of the Champions League final, and whoever was their best player was suspended as a result for Hull? Is that one of those ones? If they'd have played it when they were supposed to run, they might have been alright. Oh, I don't know. How long till Christmas Day now? Buen questione. That will be 30 days, is it? 30 days. Steve stumped. That's cricket, not football. Is Christmas Day on Monday or Tuesday? Do we know? Clue. Emu. Rod Hull. Rod Hull fell off his roof trying to fix his antenna, his aerial, so we could watch the Champions League final. Yes. That's a fantastic question. And he did go down. And as the joke went at the time, Rod Hull's died. Has anyone told his bird? Because, emu. 24 today, 31 days. So it's a month away, isn't it? Proper month away. It's on a Wednesday. Oh, man. A month till Christmas, you have it on the 24th. There are some places, isn't there? Not just Denmark. There's a few places that have it on the 24th. And, of course, there's also St. Nicholas's Day. Sinterklaas. As a United fan, you've got to be positive at the moment. You do. And you've got Amorim there, so you never know. See if you can get a decent tune out of what you've got there. Be thankful. Could be worse. You could have Dyche. Just done it to joust and he ignored you. It works perfectly unless the cat in question has got an attitude problem or it just doesn't want to be called. What? You're telling me to come to you? Do you not know I'm the famous joust? You come to me if you need anything. Anyone sold his beard? What about the kittens? What about them? Yeah, how are they? How are the kittens? Yeah, his last words, grab that gutter, emu. Ooh. How's your injuries? How are you? Oh, the moment of having the zoomies, there's no point even. You could shout food, they wouldn't even listen to you, would they? Oh, there's somebody on the roof. There's somebody on the roof. Rod Hull. How did he get away with that as an act? As a United fan, you're positive you're playing shite. I reckon he's going to get a decent tune out of your players, though. Watch the improvement over the next few weeks. You'll be alright. When we next Wolves midweek at 7:30 on Amazon. Ugh. Probably the Wolves game, I think. I'll have to make a concerted effort for that. When's that one? When is that one? I don't like the derby games, but it'll be the last derby, unless we get them in the cup. It's the last derby at Goodison, so I don't know. Maybe. I might have to. I said maybe. You're going to be the one that saves me. No, I don't know, the derby. Do I sell me ticket? Do I get rid of it and just ignore the last derby because I can't stand them? And knowing full well that Salah will dive and score a hat-trick and they'll win 27-0. Plus, when I don't go to the derbies, we seem to win. Fuckers. Yeah, I think Wolves, Wednesday, I'm going to take that day off, I think. Just to make sure I can get there on time. Get me to the match on time. The derby's too early as well. I hate that. You have a nice scar above your eye roll. Tell them you done it. I done it in combat. I can't tell you where. Can't mention any more than that. Amazon Football Week. Yeah. Must be where every game is on live. If it's 7:30, it will be, won't it? Everton games normally kick off at 8 o'clock midweek. If it's 7:45, it's normally because it's on telly with Sky. If it's 7:30, it's definitely Amazon. They do a 7:30, don't they? And then one kicks off at 8:15. Wednesday the 4th. I'll get it booked. I'll book that tomorrow. Booked it, packed it, knocked off, you know what I mean? Life is hard enough as it is without having to watch that. Swerving it out, yeah. I would as well. The last season of Goodison, I don't want to be full of memories of absolute tankings. Amazon Football had the one good thing about Amazon Football was, I'm not sure if they still do it, when you stream it you can turn off the commentary, so it is literally just the sound of the crowd and the sound of the underground. Bruise free, you are bruise free, looking fantastic, whereas the scar is a heroic wound, the one that you can constantly point to and go, no. Tune, proper tune, man. Yeah, any baking updates? We want to know these things. Yeah, Everton kick off at 12:30, 12:32, 12:35. It's going to be horrific. The final game at Goodison against them lot is going to be horrific. Giggsy, he will tear you apart again. What a player he was. The commentary off Nothing But the Goodison Groan is fantastic. Especially Sky keep messing around with the sound on their live matches. When you know there's been no sound whatsoever, they keep putting in stupid little bits. That's not what happened. I was there. People weren't singing at that point. It was silent. And you can tell because it's AI. There's other people's chants thrown in there. Just leave it. And don't mute when someone screams from the street end. Just knock it in it, will you? Is your man Sidibe? Leeds are falling apart. They weren't falling apart today. They almost did. What a game that was against Swansea. Sound of the Suburbs. What a tune that is. Love us. Love me out. Punk and new wave. Yeah, put a white shirt on that well. Wasn't even him, was it? We'll had some fantastic, proper shouts. I could have been super. Big Willie did get the win, he did. Big Willie style, he poked it in. It was late. Came from behind. A very, very interesting game to watch. Two teams who were fantastic with the ball in possession. Played very quickly, but used to just constantly give it away. I watched Barcelona yesterday as well. All these teams that want to play out the back, pretend that there's no one else playing against them. It was like watching Roberto Martinez's Everton. Just fucking get rid, will you? Barca trying to buy defenders who can't defend because they need to be able to play football. They also need to be able to defend. That's why the likes of Gerard Piqué and Carlos Puyol was so good, because they could play football, they could pass a ball, but they knew how to defend. Eric Garcia and people like that are genuinely absolute dog shit.
Next.
Who's next behind the bar? Got off possession to give it away. That's the thought, isn't it? The John Stones, after the park end calm down gif, after doing a Cruyff turn in his own box. Fucks. For too many years, he had people down his ear, Martinez and Guardiola, telling him how good he was. Just teach him how to defend first. He can already play football. You don't need any of that shite. Very iconic. Blame it on the dice sheet. I hate him. As the saying goes, I wouldn't, if I'd never seen the sunshine, I wouldn't mind the rain. I was unfortunate enough to watch us be the best team probably in Wales football at that time, for about 3 years. And then I've watched us become absolute dog shit ever since. When the likes of Howard Kendall and Harry Catterick have managed Everton, and then you look at it and think, so has Rafa Benitez, Sean Dyche and Sam Allardyce. Fucking hell. Their names shouldn't be anywhere near our football club. It makes me sick seeing them on the sideline. Baldy ginger prick. Get off. Big Willie poked it in. It does sound like a top game. It really does. And it was late on as well. It had gone the distance. It wasn't early in and over and done with. No, carried on right till the bitter end. The bitter end. Don't blame it on Kev Thelwell. Don't blame it on the Park End. Don't blame it on the Friedkins. Blame it on the Dicey. I just can't control the ball. Yep. Mikalenko. I still think Mikalenko's shout should have been the Simpsons Canyonero. Mikalenko. But they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't follow me lead. I am the resurrection. There you go. That's a sign. United are on the way back. I am the resurrection by the Roses, man. Suck a lemon in your eyes, don't want to see a scash. It's true. We have downgraded slightly, haven't we? Baines, Dean, Mikalenko. What's next? Stephen Hawking. At least he's mobile. Awful behaviour. Awful. Mandy, are you on a break from your knitting? Is it still... You haven't picked up your needles? How's it going? You alright? It is Sunday though, isn't it? After all, it is Sunday. I keep forgetting this. It went to extra time. They swapped ends. It's no fucking November, it is. And there's Christmas everywhere. It's too early. Storm Bert is blowing worse than your ma. He's in a scouse mood there, isn't he? You can see it in the background. Shuttlecocks plus Storm equals Bobby Ollocks. Proper Bobby Ollocks. Pure Bobby Ollocks lid. He's on very scouse for some reason this week, Jeff. Hawking on the overlap. Still more mobile, I would have thought as well. Definitely. Yeah, when they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Really? Never saw Stephen Hawking in the Olympic volleyball final after that, did you? Bullshit, man. Bullshit. Furiously typing into his keyboard. Get in the box, Beto. You're ploughing through Discworld at the moment, Mandy. How many books is that? How many in total? You just reminded me I need to record one more thing before Tuesday-ish. One more sliver. Which I should have done today or yesterday, really, shouldn't I? Hawking, not Sven Göran Eriksson. Yeah. Both in the same place right now as well, aren't they? Sven. It's a shame now. I always thought he come across as a decent fella, Sven. For a red, like, you know what I mean? For a red, like, but, you know, he's alright. Hawking, on the other hand, pretentious get. He said, yeah, he's so pretentious. He's from Oxford, or wherever it is, and he speaks with an American accent. 13 out of 41-ish. A long way to go then. Mort is your favourite Discworld book. First two are close behind it. I still haven't tried any of these. I will at some point. I will give it a bash. And after I finish that, I might even do some reading. Casper went to school with a couple of Svens. It's a very Northern European name, isn't it? There's a lot of Dutch, German, Danish, Norwegian, Finnish and Swedish Svens all over the place. Which I'm pretty sure there will be in Austria as well, won't there? In Switzerland maybe. Mort. Is it Mort or More? Are we calling it More? Death is brilliant. More is also, of course, French for death, isn't it? As we all know, mortgage is death grip. Hawking played by Eddie Redmayne in the film. An Oscar-winning Eddie Redmayne that you saw at the Everyman in a play with Louis Mick from Brookside. Do you want pineapple with your pizza, Emmerich from 25 years ago, man? That's mad, isn't it? When you think about the Everyman and the Playhouse and all that, the people that have came through that particular, get rid of the football now, those particular playhouses in Liverpool have been some of the most amazing actors who've either worked there or done residencies there. Mad, I love stuff like that. The people that you might have stumbled across before they particularly hit fame must be amazing, absolutely amazing. You're like Moore and Eric. Is Discworld the book that has your granddad Ponder Stibbons in it? Ponder Stibbons, now that's a name. I can imagine you doing that, Steve, with your beard, pondering. Before pointing out, who's built this? Fucking cowboys, it'll cost you. And you can't dry fit this bear. The sarcophagus on its back just won't hold in place. Dry fitting bears, please do never, ever, ever Google that, because I think you'll find something that you don't need to see. Including either chubby gentlemen of a lavender variety or Rangers fans. Nobody needs to dry fit any of them, do they, really? If you know, you know. It is indeed. Ponder Stibbons. Go on, please Google it. Certainly not on a stream. Absolutely no chance. Talking of bears. Yes. It's not here. I do have a bear. I bought myself a little brass, I think it's brass, a little brass bear. About that big, heavy as all F. But it's dead cute. It's going to start, I might start putting it in videos a little bit of an Easter egg. In the same way like inside number 9 used to have the little, the statue of a hare. I might do the same kind of thing. And then hope that it takes off. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe it's the little bear that I need somewhere within shot. That will give me the good fortune that I need. Gotta quit the gear, Jimmy. It's not good, la. Yeah. The Vic and Bob Shooting Stars version of that was absolutely amazing. Superb. Alright, Jimmy, you know, Mark. I have to watch that again, I think. Why is none of their stuff available? Why is there no Vic and Bob stuff available? The iPlayer, there's no Shooting Stars, there's no Bang Bang, there's no Smell of Reeves or Mortimer. Why not? Sort it out, man. sort it out where we are. Me little bear, I'll make sure it's in here for the next stream, or I'll do a video introducing them. How's that? Do you know, I was just thinking to myself, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll do it tomorrow with it being Sunday. It's not. I have lost a complete day. In between today and yesterday, an entire day has disappeared underneath me comfort blanket. It's shizzle, man. That worries me. Sean Dyche's face on Mike Walker's face. Oh, he's got an even worse. Oh, hang on, no, so Ali, oh, sorry. I'm going to start you again. Many apologies for the inconvenience. BBC is not what it was. They're missing out. How much of that would you watch if you put the entire Vic and Bob back catalogue on there? What side was Catterick on? Was that BBC as well? That's an amazing show. I know that's on YouTube, but man. Poor Tom needs a break, he does. A break from watching Everton. Am I right? Bit like Jaguar, loved the new ad. I can understand if you want to rebrand, but show a car for a start. Show a car. It's mad. It seems to be the entire motoring world is despising the rebrand. The fact that they deleted their entire Instagram history, all the old stuff, all the stuff that they won on Le Mans, stuff like that, all deleted. That's going to backfire. Jaguar will not be around in the next 5 years. Not a chance. Mike Walker, footballing god in Norfolk. He should have stayed in Norfolk. He was doing great with Norwich. And I know the law of a team that was supposed to be doing better at the time, but wasn't. It's hard to knock back, but he should have stayed where he was. He was awful with us. Piss poor. And it was weird because he got sacked, was it November? I know the first Joe Royle's first game was against Liverpool, wasn't it? That was in late November, 21st, 25th, one of those days. Or was his first game against Newcastle? One or the other. He was shite. And then we had the same squad of players when Joe Royle came in, and then we ended up winning the FA Cup with him. Apparently, Mike Walker, instead of spending time on the training pitch dealing with the players, telling them what to do, he spent all his time on the Lecky beach, topping his tan up. Bit of a fan of the sunbed was Mike, leaving the coaching duties to his coaches. Never got involved at all. We poached him, we did, and we got what we deserved for poaching someone. Shouldn't do it. Just Google Shooting Stars, you have to pay to watch it. Bastardos. I understand with like Phoenix Knights and Max and Paddy, Peter Kay doesn't want to show them anywhere because he doesn't want Dave Spikey and Neil Fitzmaurice getting any money from it, because he's an absolute tit. But he had a reason behind it, but why not Reeves and Mortimer? Joe Royle pay for the Canaries. Good lad, Joe. He still goes for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with, who is it? Colin Harvey, Derek Temple and someone else every Thursday. They've invited me dad along. Just near Ormskirk, Berskoway. Ormskirky, Berskoway. My dad said, "Oh, you're all right. If I'm free, I'll go there." Just go, man. These are legends. Proper legends. I'll drive you. Like we drove Alex Young home Well, not home, not all the way to Scotland. He was staying in Crosby. Come down to do a after dinner speech, sportsman's dinner type thing. And someone said someone said at some point, "You're heading back to Southport, aren't you? Yeah. Going past Crosby, what we can do. Can you give Alec Young a lift home? Can we?" My dad, ex-pro, played the game at the highest level. You could see him being excited about Mr. Vision in the back of the car. You want me to have an Everton legend in the car? Yeah, all right. I'll give him a lift. No worries. Amazing. Top fella. Mandy, you want a shot at Captain Morgan's spiced gold? That seems to be particularly popular with the ladies. I know quite a few people who drink that, and they are all female. When I say they're all female, what I mean is every one of them is a female. I don't mean, oh my god, they're all women. I'm all woman, you know what I'm talking about? No. Casper had an absurd comedy show called Casper and the Mandrill Deal. John Cleese had a cameo. He likes a bit of absurd, doesn't he? Cleesy boy. Pub near you has a Joe Royal room near Latics, near Oldham. Do you know the best way to Oldham? Yeah. He was a legend there as well. He's a fantastic fella, Joe. Fantastic as a player. Fantastic as a manager. Fantastic as a man. So, can't do much more than that, really, can you? It suddenly started to blow even harder outside. I say, Mr. Stibbins. Ponder Stibbins. What's going on out there? Up near the Latics, cold up that way. It is. Oldham is always cold. There's a few stadiums which are constantly freezing no matter what time of the year you go there. Oldham is one of them. Blackburn's another. Bolton is normally cold as well. It's a nice little triangle there, isn't it? Absolutely Baltic every time we go. Used to live on Oldham Road. It's a shame what happened to that club as well. Another Northwest club that has been ruined by previous owners. Happens on a regular basis, unfortunately, doesn't it? Bury happened to them. Oldham, who else? There's a few of them. Shouldn't be allowed. The sooner it's written into these things that the stadium for a football club is an intrinsic part of the club and cannot be sold off. It has to be linked to it. That might stop all these gobshites turning up hoping to knock down the stadium and turn it into flats. Wrexham had the same problem. Sold off the training facilities, built a hotel on the stadium grounds, and we're hoping at some point to knock the entire thing down because it's worth a few quid, despite it being the oldest continuously used international stadium in the world. Which is why they were lucky when Rob and Ryan turned up. Was it Flat Cap Derby this weekend? Rochdale Oldham? That's a proper old school Flat Cap Derby, isn't it? Wind gusts up to 24 metres a second. Stay in. Tay for lads and sparkles. Tay. You still live in Blackburn as well. You still have a thing for cold places. It shouldn't be cold anywhere near the A666, really, should it? Yeah, Blackburn. I think we won 3-0 there one year, and I was absolutely frozen solid. I think was it Kanchelskis scored. Did he get 2 that game? Or did he get a hat-trick? I can't remember. Absolutely battered them everywhere. But it was great. And there was a pub outside the ground. Is the Fernhurst. We were all outside there, waiting to get in, and some busy turned up on a horse. Sorry lads, no away fans, no away fans. And then, as he was saying that, the door opened and the manager, who's from Liverpool, went, "All right, lads, get in." So the entire street piled in there. Never seen so many Kanchelskis shirts in one go in my life. But that was a highlight of the day. That win and getting in the pub afterwards and starting to feel warm was fantastic. We almost were unalived on the way home as well. While we were in the stadium, the fella who was driving the bus decided to sit in the pub. Give it one of them. So by the time we left, he was absolutely wankered. Good old days. It's called a Curry Derby now. Currently 15.3 outside. The wind chill is 8. Wind gust at 24.8. Heavy salad, man. What's ours? Come on, what are ours? 11 degrees, feels like 7. Wind 32 kilometres per hour. Mostly cloudy. No idea. I'm pitch black, man. Scholesy call it the flat cap derby on the overlap. Don't we miss all that, you know, genuinely, all the proper old school flat caps at the match years ago. People with those rattles. I know we've still got the foil covered FA Cup, which we need. That's always a highlight of the season. Some kid from a non-league team holding that up with the smile on his face, the smile of enjoyment of seeing his beloved team play against Premier League superstars, and then the look on his face as the 8th goal goes in for the opposition. I love stuff like that. They've got to learn that lesson early on in life. Come on, lad. Throw FA Cup in bin. That's us for year. Valuable life lesson. Never get your hopes up. They'll always let you down. It's an actual true story, that. They will, constantly. I hate them, man. I hate them. But I need to speak to the people that I sit with, find out what they're doing for the move. Where are they moving to? I'd rather stay with them. It's a good group of folks. The new season tickets will be out in February or something, won't they? Can't wait for that. How much is that going to be? Just see that Roy Keane and some Ipswich fans had words after the game. Not like him to have an opinion, is it? Mad. Mad ting fam. That's a problem with modern football fans as well. Any criticism against their team, they just can't handle it. If you don't agree with what he says, just laugh at him, walk away. Yeah, Bahamas 15.3. Proper, that's warm now. How many words, Ali? I would think to be 2 of them. 7 letters, most of it will be F. Just seen the video. Oh, so there's a video of it as well. Caught on camera. Man, you had a customer at one of the pubs. Everyone called him Ferret. You asked him why. He reached in his pocket and got a ferret out. Just apropos of nothing. Wandering around with a ferret in your pocket. Did you use that that particular phrase at all? Is that a ferret in your pocket, or you're pleased to see me? 7 letters, 2 words, do a car park. Yeah, he doesn't back down too often, Roy, does he? Apart from when it's someone like Duncan Ferguson, of course. When his arse completely dropped out of him. All those big tough fellas did, didn't he? Paul Ince, the governor, jumped up, waiting to have a go at someone, seen who it was, and went, nah, you're all right, pal. Tapped him. Gobshites. Fact. Absolute fact. We're full of facts on here, aren't we? But it is a Sunday.
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
What's Kipper's got? Let's have a look. Egyptians drank cocktails of psychedelic drugs in ancient mugs, research reveals. Researchers found a cocktail of psychedelic drugs, bodily fluids and alcohol when analysing DNA from a mug used by ancient Egyptians thousands of years ago. A portrait of the ancient god Bez. Bez? You taking the piss? Historians have only been able to speculate about the mug's contents, with some believing they were used to hold sacred water, wine or beer, according to Branko van Oppen, curator of the Greek and Roman art at the Tampa Museum of Art. But through scraping chemical and DNA analysis from the inner walls of a mug donated to the Tampa Museum of Art in 1984, Professor Tanasi and his research team discovered a cocktail of psychedelic drugs, bodily fluids and alcohol. A typical Wetherspoons pint then. Hoo-yah! Absolutely. That is a proper Wetherspoons pint, that. Bodily fluids, DNA, still flat. Man, every time the wind goes to your internet, hopes on, is that nopes or hopes? It's a nope out. He's from the same county as Connor, isn't he? The Rebel County, from Cork. And he also he appeared, didn't he, in The Young Offenders? Did Roy Keane? I think it was the series rather than the film, if I remember rightly. Being a good Cork lad. Cork is the south, it is on the south coast. Unfortunately, that's where my Irish knowledge sort of falls down. It's sort of Belfast, Dublin, Cork, Galway, and then a few little bits in between. I don't know enough of that. I should know more. Going to start calling yourself Ferret when people ask why. Say, checking my pocket. Is that when you have the hole cut into your pocket? Yes, Jeff with a nope. Or does Jeff hope that it nopes? Is that the reason why? Is that a Freudian slip from him? They still sniff fermented bags of shite on that continent to get hired. They do. Very, very odd. Honestly, not sure which area of Cork. No, I think Steve meant Cork is in the south of the country. Which it is, isn't it? I remember watching an episode of Air Crash Investigation, which a plane unfortunately went down because of a sea threat that was there. One that can appear from nowhere. Must be horrific. You can't see a thing in front of you. But yeah, Republic, it's basically Dublin, Cork, Galway. Beyond that, I'm struggling a bit. Apart from also up the north, Donegal. Tried, been there, seen it, done it. Got that out and put on a register. Obvs. I wouldn't, just in case the person who went searching for him is, your baby ferret's asleep. Don't think I'd handle that kind of rejection. I was cold last week as well, by the way. Proper cold. So I've done an old man thing. I bought vests and I bought thermal socks, and they arrived just in time for this heat wave that we're having. It's mad. No wonder we talk about the weather so much in this country, because we have all of it in one day. Never mind Crowded House, we have it more than they do. But it's warm. The heating's been on, and it doesn't take much now. Why can't it stay like this for a while? Just for a while. Could we not just have that, go back to normal, where autumn and spring are a little bit chilly, summer's red hot and the winter's cold and it snows for about a week? I'll settle for that. Lads, it was freezing in York yesterday, full thermals on, hoodie and a big coat. It's the western side of the country, the western side of the north of the country. We don't realise how lucky we are with the fact that it stays a lot warmer here than it does further along. If you get on the train and go from Liverpool to Newcastle, the difference is huge. It'll be the same with York, Leeds, always colder than it is on the west coast. What have you missed, Kirsty? Not much. Didn't have the heating on today. There's more than one seam. One there. One there. Is that better, Mandy? Seam on each side. It's supposed to be reversible, I think, this. A navy one inside, but I like the Glastonbury vibe of this one. Didn't have the heating on today. No need, man. It's good. Days like this is what it should be. Anyone beat -12? We haven't had that yet. We had -16, I think was the lowest I've seen it over here. That was 2010 or 11, whatever it was. Horrific. Yeah, definitely win that one at the moment. Although we are expected to have a really cold winter, aren't we? And if we do, it gets horrific here, because the amount of water that's around us as well. Be the same with Denmark. Surrounded by water, it gets bloody cold. It's not rejection, it's just people with unrealistic expectations. My own fault, I suppose, isn't it? Keep the expectations realistic. It was distracting, I do apologise. I will try and sort that out for future reference. I need more hats, I'm running out, I've only got 30 odd. It's plus 14 there at the moment in the south. 8 in Offaly, 14 in Norfolk, -12 in Denmark. We've got 11, plus 11 here. Some with bows in, some you can't give a bear with bows. Ali, did you have snow last week? We did. We had actual snow, which my next video you might see. I went out while it was snowing and I forgot to take my light with me, so it was absolutely piss poor. But I've done it anyway, so to hell with it. But actual snow, and it lasted until the following morning. It was on the ground. Normally there's too much salt and sand in the air, and it doesn't stick at all. But it did. It was lovely. Just enough, that's all you need. Just a couple of days of snow during the winter, so the kids can get out and have a play. So you can take a few pictures. That's all you need. Christmas card kind of stuff at your boss. Yeah, the bit, not much. Yeah. -12 on Thursday. Sunday it's 15, plus 15. That's too much. A 27-degree turnaround is too much. The human body can't take that. The mind can't. You had a covering for about an hour. You'll be exactly the same normally, Steve, where you are. Just because you're near the water, there's so much sand and salt everywhere. Horrific. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Just put the chat back the way it was. No, Jackie, no, she's nowhere to be seen. Had a bit of snow in London for about 30 minutes the other day. The north was covered in it. Looked lovely. There was a few people I follow on YouTube that were out and about in it, going for walks and what have you. It did look rather nice. And close to where we are. Never normally happens. You have to get in the car and drive about an hour before you find snow. Didn't see any snow except on the mountains, close enough for you. Yeah. But it was nice. So there was one woman that normally walks around North Wales, just walked around near Skelmersdale, and it was lovely. Just a normal little park with a hill in it, and she was going there hoping to see whether or not kids are still going down there on the sledges like she used to go with her kids apparently. And literally just like a 25 to 30 minute drive away from where we are. Mad. Morning, Jackie. Where is she, man? Bang out of order. Was the snow nice on the mountains, Mandy? Did it look proper? Was it just a dusting or was it like a proper covering? I'd love to be well enough to go and have a bit of a wander up near the mountains during the snow. It'd be lovely, I think. But it'd take some doing that, wouldn't it? I'd also, depends on how the recovery goes, I'd love to be able to start ticking off some Wainwrights in the Lake District, climbing those hills. Just as something to aim for in the future. Maybe one day. You never know. Although today, I'm not going to get on the treadmill when I finish, balls to it. This is going to be the third day out of 5 that I've not hit my target for walking. But I've just not felt like it at all. Not good at all. Guessing looking at the news, it washed off the mountains. It looks like it did, didn't it? Unfortunately, they've been hit by a lot of really bad weather in Wales. Lots of mudslides, flooding, horrific stuff. But unfortunately, I guess that's part of the problem of living near mountains. You get the wash off from them. And when it happens, it can be quite big, quite dangerous. Very picturesque, but not for long. Just wondering what area of Cork Roy Keane is from. Do we know these things? Is it public knowledge? I wonder if Louise got snow up there as well. She was apparently the forecast was for loads of snow where she is as well. I wonder. Hills are always a bit of a disappointment when you get to the top. I think just making it up would be something good for me in itself. Although to be fair, I watch a lot of Henry Turner, his YouTube channel. He's a landscape photographer and he does a lot of the Wainwrights up in the Lake District, and the views from the top of there are absolutely breathtaking. He's in Scotland this week. Looked very, very nice. Google it. Roy Keane's from Cork City itself. His accent's never left him, has it? Despite living in England for a long time, it's still stuck with him. As it should do. Can't believe it's Monday tomorrow already. How has this happened? It's not fair, man. Shouldn't be allowed. Oh, but it's Tony Christie. Is this the way to Amarillo? When was that added? Can't remember seeing that before. How many Wainwrights are there? Is there 241, is there? $214, yes there is. 214 peaks. How long would it take to do those? I know there's fellas in the 60s who've been doing it. Some took months, some took years. Let's have a go with that. Far too quick, Harry, far too quick. Think of Ronnie Corbett did he fall over on the video to that? The man, the myth, the legend, Ronnie Corbett. I like him in. Was it Extras he was in? When the clean living Ronnie Corbett, the legend, was in a toilet and he had him doing things in a toilet he shouldn't be doing. It sounded like he was suffering from a cold. You can't get him. He's a national treasure. You can't get him to be doing that, pretending to do that rather. He was having a bump. It is when he thought, yeah. See, I remember these things. Just Bobby Davro, Bobby Davro. Jeff being evil yet again. Yes, we heard you, Jeff. Evil sod. Right, we'll add the other two. It's got to be hot. Let's see if this works. Nick got his car back. He hasn't taken us out. Does he not like us? Horace, don't do that, man. You can't be guilting into these things. How pass-ag is that? How pass-ag? Yeah, Ricky Gervais is brilliant at getting famous people doing things you wouldn't expect. Yes, it's ridiculous some of the things people have done for him. One of my favourites, I think, was Keith Chegwin. Was it Keith Chegwin, Les Dennis, and Barry from EastEnders on the sofa talking about the way they'd rather go if they had to go, if they had to unalive, the best way to go. Keith Chegwin talking about the strangle wank. You can't have him doing that, man. Still no Teddy Bear's Picnic, I know. I keep forgetting. I need to sort that out. I also need to sort out the blanket and the water and the breakfast bars and things in the car because they're still not in there. I need to do that tomorrow. Don't want to get stuck again without enough stuff to sort myself out. Got to have enough there to see myself through, haven't I? With the weather starting to get cold and there might be snow around. My blanket's here next to me. was the one I had in the car. Of that one. That needs to go back in there. You know what's happened there? Microsoft 365 just opened. Why? Bit cold for that though. You have to take him sledding instead, yeah. The lady who played Jean Meldrew swearing like a trooper in Afterlife. They must love it as well. Don't want to be typecast as a nice old lady with a smile on her face. No, get in there and proper let loose. Love us, love us. A kettle and some pot noodles. Yes, the 12-volt cigarette lighter kettle. Pot noodles. They are dry, so they'll stay in the car, they'll be sound. Imagine getting picked up by the RAC though when the fella turns up. We hear you struggling, opens the door and you're in there, kettle boiling, cup of tea, pot noodle, getting wired right into it. Do you need any help? Can you come back in half an hour? Needs to be done. I could have done with a bit of a van though, couldn't I? One of those van life vans. It's broke down, I'm not arsed. I'm going to sit in the back, make a cup of tea. Live streaming from the back of one of them. That'd be boss, wouldn't it? Maybe one day. Who knows? Tuesday. Imagine that. 173 million. Get one of those massive big tour bus Winnebago things. Proper huge thing with a driver. And then take the pause on tour. We're going to have to do that, aren't we? I mean, genuinely. One of these Wednesday or Sunday streams has got to come from somewhere else. Go and park somewhere else and do it there. Going to do that. I am definitely going to do that. Just got to find somewhere decent. Speaking of tea, yours going cold, you best hurry. Or buy yourself a thermos because you're worth it. You do. You say your Ford trains, it is your industry standard. I'd love a proper old school Ford Transit. Done out in the back so it's all proper ready to go stream and a bed in there and a kettle and everything. Oh, that'll be the dream. Don't have it parked outside yours, that'll be gone. Yeah, you've got to be careful. Funnily enough, Ralph, I was going to tell you something. One of the channels that I watch, say I've mentioned her before, there's a Southport lady, Carol Ann, living in the moment, and she's a woman in her early 50s who goes out and about, constantly in North Wales. She's got a caravan round there, does loads of walking in Snowdonia. And she was doing a Q&A, and someone was asking, do you always go to campsites or will you do street parking when you take your van out? And she said, I'll always go, for the moment anyway, I will always go to proper designated sites. Because I live in Southport and I keep telling people it's a great place to go and park, and I've just found out it's a dogging site, a male dogging site. And I felt like asking, but I didn't. Is that where I park up? Is that the place she was talking about? Because that would explain a hell of a lot. But there's definitely male dogging sites in Southport. So be careful where you park, because you might start getting the owl knock on the door. Especially if you're playing your Frankie Goes to Hollywood greatest hits albums, of course. Yeah, but you've got to be careful. You just don't know, do you? There was a couple who also did the same kind of thing. Who park up everywhere, and they were told the most haunted site is also a dogging site as well. And they parked up, and they were shitting themselves by the end of it, because there was constantly the same car was going past all the time. Must be looking to see if there's any action going on. Been sent to a dogging site. Imagine, yeah. I mean, I know where I am. I'm only 2 miles away from home, so there's no big issue with that. But and it was parts of Southport and parts of Ainsdale were famous for it long before it was even called dogging. It was, we all knew dog watching. It was called here before it was called dogging. But exposed. I don't think it's on where I am, where I park up. There's a little set of dunes. Then there's a little bit of a road, which is what she was talking about. Then there was a proper van and caravan parking site next to it. That little road, so it's been closed off now, but it's still used for nefarious activities. That might be where I park. If not, it might be a little bit further on towards Ainsdale. But I need to watch out because obviously, if I'm quite happily streaming away, so to speak, and all of a sudden you hear tss, tss, tss in the background, just tell me, I'll disappear. Very exposed. You don't want to be exposed that close to the seafront anyway because it's cold. And it's not good for the it's no good for that. Maybe more that, if that makes sense. A bit more specific in case you're ever in the area. The one where I park up is Marine Drive. If there's two car parks and you can see the pier in front of you. There's a KFC next door. I'm wondering if that's the place she was talking about. But there's loads of places along that particular drive, Marine Drive and the Coast Road, where you can pull up. Maybe that's where they are. And of course, on the Coast Road, there's not a lot there. There's some houses that sort of back onto the dunes, and then you've pretty much got dunes for miles, followed by the beach. Nobody walking around there of a night. Very shady. Marine Drive, careful sailor, yep. Apparently very careful sailor. But it was just funny when they're talking about it. You need to be really careful, and she needs to be careful because she's a woman as well. She wants to do a live stream, but she wants to make sure that wherever it is, she doesn't advertise where she is until after the stream is finished. That stream the other day was from such and such a place. She has to be careful. But maybe that's the double-edged sword, isn't it? She can wear a bikini and clickbait people into watching her videos. I couldn't do that. But if a stalker turned up and saw someone who's 6'4" and 16 stone, there's a possibility they might just think, nah, not getting involved in this just in case. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. It's just funny watching that video when she was talking about where it was. I thought, I'm sure that's the dogging site I talk about. As a laugh, but maybe it is. Who knows, or dares to ask. But it's lovely round there. It'd be wasted if them not turned up to nefarious activities, being filth. But it would explain why so many men stop to ask me questions. Oh, what are you doing there? What are you filming? What am I filming? Oh, don't want to be seen, do you? Is that what it is? Or do you want to be seen? Is that what it is? Disgusting behaviour. We'll go there this week and see what happens. A good heart these days is hard to find. Please be gentle with this heart of mine, Ali. If it's a male dogging, is it called dogging or should it be called centipeding? Could well be. Especially if there's a daisy chain going on. Don't Google daisy chains either. Or the Durham bumpers. Don't Google that. Why does this always, genuinely always, descend into dogging? Constantly. I need to send her a message and find out exactly where it is though. I don't want to accidentally find myself in the middle of an unofficial Pride March or something, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why the council don't allow you to put drones up. Is that the reason why? Because you started recording things with drones looking down, you might think, ooh, Southport looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Just Google it, will you? My Google search will be a bin fire after this tonight if I search for everything. Dry fitting bears. Centipeding doggers. Well dodgy. But I wonder. It might be closer to Ainsdale actually. I know I did, but it's because of where I parked the live stream. Like I said, when she live streams, she doesn't want people to know where it's going to be in case some lunatic turns up. I'm quite happy. Here I am, Southport. There's the pier. You can tell exactly where I am, but then I'll be left alone, I think. I've filmed enough from there. I should have noticed by now if it was. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. I know, but I need to be careful. If it's not there, it might be the next one along, which I sometimes stop at as well. Or it might be, I think it might be closer to Ainsdale. I don't really go around there too often, so I might be alright. I'll have a look on map. Yeah, but she suggested to people that she knows who are part of the van life community, oh, just go and park there. It's sound. You won't get stopped by the police or anything. Yeah. Yeah, I have gone by dark, and you'll see when I'm there and I go, right, this is getting too dark and it's getting too dodgy, I'm leaving. You'll know why. Because it does get a little bit weird. As soon as the ice cream man goes, that's when you know. Shit about to get real, dog. It is dodgy. There's a lot more estate cars suddenly turn up. That's estate cars and SUVs. There's no MX-5s. There's no little two-seater sports cars. There's no Fiat 500s. They all disappear to be replaced by Vauxhall XC90s and things like that. You know what I mean? Must be a reason for that. Lip Up Fatty again. Who you call? Oh, sorry, you mean the song Bad Manners. I love that. Although my favourite Bad Manners song is Just a Feeling. Not Lip Up Fatty, not the Can Dance. Just a Feeling. That's on one of my playlists. One of my early doors playlists. When I say early doors, I don't mean the sitcom, I mean when I was young. Songs I remember from my youth. Sorry I spoke, Mandy. No need. It is on shuffle though, so it just randomly picks them. You might get some that double up. And it is working. It is working for a change. Who did Dr. Martin's Boots? That would be Alexi Sale. I don't know what the band was called. Was it? It was some the Young Ones, wasn't it? And he did Hello John, Got a New Motor. What did he call himself? I'm going to Google this one because I need to know. Alexi Sale and Radical Posture. That was it. I always like Alexi Sale on the Young Ones when he goes uber scouse. Because he pretends not to be and all of a sudden he just dips into it properly. Speaking of Alexi, I dug this one out for tonight, an Aeroflot t-shirt. What's the story about tomorrow? What are you painting? Or is it church? Are you painting church? Not very random. There's enough songs on there. Yeah, I know, but it is random. It's literally random. It's not viable in an MX-5 or a Fiat 500. Definitely not at our age. Definitely not. MX-5 or a Miata if you live in the States. Yes. Unless, I don't know, you could be hanging out of one, I suppose, couldn't you? So you first saw it, you've seen them perform it properly, and a stage band. So would it be Radical Posture? Would that be the band that it was back then? So he spits out Cossacks. I've read one of his books. I can't remember which one it was. Margaret Thatcher Stole My Trousers, or whichever was the other one. I don't know. But funny. It's got a very interesting story, his backstory, our Alexi. He came to Southport College as our college. So he went to the same college as my daughter. Or rather, she went to the same college as him. Mad, innit? Mad. Radical Posture will be how they were on the bill. Yeah, I would have thought so. I love the young ones. We need more stuff like that. Things that tear down the walls of what you do with comedy and music. And the fact that they had a band in every week. Radical Posture, was it Motorhead, Madness, Rip Rig and Panic. Loads of boss bands on there. Just do not remake the young ones. Do something similar, just don't remake it. And also, Up Pompeii. I mentioned this last week, didn't I think? Where Frankie Howard breaks the fourth wall constantly by talking to the audience that's in there for the filming. Playing the audience like a stand-up comedian. Should do that more often in comedy, even though it's a proper sitcom set piece stuff in the background. Just go off the script. Try and make people laugh. Be good. Hanging out at one is the dog and dream. It is, isn't it? Once you've done that, you can tick off all the lists. Fiat 569. There you go, one of them. It'll either be the bear or your mystery model. Ooh, mystery model. That's got me intrigued. Steve, comedy is completely and utterly on the slab at the moment, isn't it? And he's sorting out. Can't redo the young ones. No Rick, no young ones. But you know what they're like? TV executives will remake it with a brand new up and coming cast. No. They would try it, wouldn't they? You know they'd try it as well. It worked back in the 80s, it'll work today. Honestly, it will definitely work. But we'll have a writing room of 23 to 28-year-olds pitching their one-liners. But you can reuse the same kind of punk ethic behind it. And I know you can because it's been done. What was it called? I'm going to have to Google this. Greg Davis, We Are Clang. Have you ever seen that? Greg Davis, Steve, what's his name? And Marek Larwood. Three of them, they started off doing songs on stage, but they'd done their own little sitcom, which was set on a stage as well, where they were working in a council building. And the crowd, the audience was involved all the way through. They'd ask them questions or, you know what I mean, just get them involved. They'd turn around from what was going on the stage, have a look in the audience, and there was someone with a horse's head on, just for no reason. I love stuff like that. Just play around with things. Tayabai on Twitch. What do I think of Bill Bear? I've not watched enough of his stand-up, really, to be honest. What I have seen, he's quite interesting, quite funny. I should watch more stuff. There is stuff available, isn't on Netflix. Although my humour is a lot more British-based. Oh, hello, Barnsey.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
It's there, level 11. Mystery model, you didn't know you'd be getting, and Graham wouldn't tell you who ordered it. You just took a picture as proof of delivery. Ah, right. So it's literally a mystery model. Not a mystery to the audience, a mystery to you as well. Young ones would offend too many, they would. Proper meltdown. People would feel triggered, I think, watching that. Perfect for its time. It needed to be done in the same way that punk needed to come along just to prick the bubble of pomposity of prog rock at the time. Something needed to change, and it did with comedy as well. Comedy in the UK at the time was far too safe. Too much old school. Wheel tappers and shunters. Mother-in-law jokes. Although to be fair, Les Dawson's mother-in-law jokes was superb. But there's too much of that. It was too safe, too easy. It needed a kick up the 80s, and it got it. Bill Burr's brilliant. I like what I've seen, so I do really need to go and watch him. There's loads on Netflix. I'll go and watch one this week, I think. We are clanging made you laugh so hard it hurt. Spunkstorm, a motherfucking Spunkstorm. A song about Greg's first kiss. It is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I think all the episodes are available on YouTube. Go and check it out. There are songs, there's stuff on stage where you can see them just completely losing it. Brilliant. And Greg Davis is hilarious in everything he's in anyway. Check it out, man, you Funk Soul Brothers. I am going to have to watch that all the way through again. Who else was it? Debbie Chazen was in it, wasn't she? She was the mayor, the female mayor. Marek Larwood has got his own YouTube channel as well, where he does shit photography, which has to be seen to be believed. He does shit photography competitions as well, where you have to... This week it's going to be doors, and everyone has to take pictures of doors. And he picks the best, which is normally the worst. Brilliant. You will be happy, but you know there's 50 levels. There might be more than 50 levels. We don't know. No one's ever reached that far yet. Mandy's in the lead. Was it 38? Check it out, man. Loyalty. 38, Mandy. Ali, 36. Out in the lead. We don't know how many there is. Marek he is amazing. Incredibly expressive. Weird in a brilliant way. And they work really well together, them three. Steve, I can't remember his name. It's another one we'll have to check out, me. We are... Yeah, it was on BBC Three. They are available. Yeah, Steve Hall, that's it. Greg Davis, Steve Hall and Marek Larwood. 2009, what? Check it out. It's well worth it. Do it. Do it now. No, don't do it now. Do it later. But do it. You won't regret it. It is fantastic, as they say in Japan. It's endless. Lies on level 4. With the so much, it is insane how many hours people have watched. Level 7, Laz, you are on level 7. I haven't checked for a while. What's the up-to-date hourage? Right, this is what blows my mind. Mandy, you need to type more. You keep forgetting to chat. You're in there, but you forget to chat. And you moan it takes you ages to level up. It does, but, and this genuinely blows my mind, Mandy's got a combined watch time of 14 days, 18 hours and 30 minutes. That's a fortnight, solid fortnight of watching me chatting shit. Ali, 10 days, 1 hour. Kirsty, 9 days, 45 minutes. Steve, 10 days, 3 hours and 50 minutes. Just absolutely, my mind goes completely. It is an old programme now. It just doesn't feel that old, but it is, genuinely. Greg's moved on with Taskmaster. He has, but he also did Man Down, which is one of my favourite sitcoms of all time. He was brilliant in that. All the stories that he tells about when he was a teacher all seem to make it into that sitcom, and it is brilliant. Yes, Mandy, that is sad. Just waiting to flex your mod muscles. We are the mods, we are the mods, we are the mods. So the core paper said about your first kiss. For Cup, you've watched more than that. It's not counting fives. These are just live streams, and not even all of them, because the first few didn't have bot tricks in them. These are literally just live streams. I've just levelled up to level 4. I'm not celebrating that. That doesn't count. He was in Cuckoo as well. I get it was another BBC sitcom, wasn't it? I never really watched that. Clips I've seen are funny, and I've got mates who absolutely love it. Never got round to really watching it. That's another one that's going to have to go on the list. And he's also in The Cleaner, which I've seen a few episodes of that, and that's funny. But Man Down, the first series, having Rick Mayall as his dad, it doesn't get any better than that. Greg, as a teacher, Rick Mayall as his dad. I mean, if you went into a Channel 4 BBC meeting and said, I've got an idea for a sitcom, oh yeah, go on, what is it? It's me talking about my life as a teacher, really. Yeah, Rick Mayall's going to be my dad. Sign me up, go on. You're not yaying me. Yeah, it doesn't deserve it. I was higher than that, but I put myself back down, didn't I? I need to be able to take myself out of this. It had Taylor Lawton in it, surprisingly good. Rick as his dad is perfect, because he does genuinely look as though he could be Rick Mayall's son, apart from the height difference. There's a look about them. Brilliant. And then the fact that when, unfortunately, Rick Mayall passed away, they couldn't get him in the second series, so they went and got Stephanie Cole to be his foul-mouthed aunt. It is absolutely incredible. She's brilliant in that as well. I don't think many things have made me laugh as much and struggle to breathe as Stephanie Cole in series 3 or 4 of Man Down, talking about someone and saying she's got a fanny like a stamped bat. I never thought I would hear those words come out of that lady's mouth, but there they did. And then about 20 minutes later, I managed to get off the floor, resuscitated. Just how was he managed this? To see him in Russell Howard's uncle in that thing about Howard, I didn't see that. Was that a Sky show, or was that BBC? That should be available somewhere. I'll have to watch that as well. Gladiator 2 was good, you enjoyed it? He is a bigger, fatter version of Rick, he is, definitely. But it's brilliant casting. And then just letting Rick Mayall get on with it. Here's the script. Pretty much go and do what you feel like. If you want to act up, act up. If you want to be sound and just chill, you can do. Just be Rick Mayall. That's probably all he got, wasn't it? What direction? What's my motivation, darling, and all that stuff. Right, just be Rick Mayall. Russell Howard. That'll be in there somewhere. I'll find it. I will find it. Not seen the first one, first Gladiator. I'll find it, Steve. Don't worry, mate. First one was good too. Are they any good, these films? Genuinely, I'm not a huge Gladiator type film dude, but I would always compare them to the likes of Ben-Hur, which I think is a bit unfair, isn't it? In Spartacus and things. Brilliant on Graham Norton, absolutely superb. It's always worth watching when you see one of these people turn up. Ian McKellen is another one when he's on Graham Norton. Doesn't matter, just sit there and take over the show. Love it. So the last live tour for Bottom. Yeah, the ability to run off script was hilarious. That's when you know two people who've been writing that show for such a long time, who know the characters inside out. They don't need a script. You go on stage without a script, it'd still be funny. Brilliant. Yeah, Gladiator 2 was shite. That seems to be pretty much every other video on YouTube at the moment. Is it because it was so much expectation and it hasn't lived up to it, or is it just genuinely shite? We may never know. Because I won't be going to watch it. Ooh. Looks like we might have a little bit of Aurora activity tonight as well. Some geomagnetic activity. You may have to see it. You may not. Aurora may be visible by eye from Scotland and may be visible by camera from Scotland, Northern England and Northern Ireland. Keep watching the sky. Everyone has their own taste, to be honest, but you enjoyed it, exactly. That's one of the main things. Everyone's got their own taste. If we all like the same thing, life would be exceptionally boring. And there'd be no conversations about things, would there? Imagine that. What do you think of this film? Great. You? Great. You? Great. Thank you for coming to tonight. Everything's great. Loads of good free films on YouTube at the moment. I'm finding loads of interesting stuff on there that I really enjoy. Most of it is living sort of vicariously through people wandering around the beauty of the UK. And I think I mentioned it again. I was speaking to someone yesterday about it. How are you feeling? How's things getting on? So I'm doing all right. I'm trying not to get frustrated. I can't let myself get frustrated because there's things I'd like to be able to do which I can't do. I'm physically not able to. I can't play footy. There's not a chance of that happening. My career might be done by now. I'd love to go and start walking and doing those Wainwrights during the summer. I can't do that unless I improve spectacularly between now and late spring. But I can't be pissed off for other people doing it. Know what I mean, blood? Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people are slagging it on YouTube. But I suppose, is that also because you can get a lot of views by having any particular solid opinion on YouTube? Whether it's I love it or I hate it. You can't just say it was alright because no one will watch that, but either or, someone will start kicking off. What do you mean you hate it? It's the best film ever, etc, etc. Through the clouds, you won't see it through the cloud now, unfortunately. But when it's, you get a proper warning, like we had not too long ago, there was a proper warning for it and it was in very, very high reds. These go in greens, yellows, amber and reds. When it was a high red, you could look outside and just see it with the naked eye. It was amazing. And yet my sister's still talking about it being HARP. It's that's made. You can't have pretty much half the globe seeing lights at the same time. There's not enough energy on the entire planet for that. Doesn't work that way. It is. It's Bill Gates. The media are holding it from you. Have a day off, dickhead. Persistently raining in Wales and cloudy in Manchester. Who'd have thought it? Not I. Raining there, it's dry. Dry as a bone where I am. I mean literally dry as a bone. There's nothing on the floors. Nothing on the pavements anyway. There's a little bit of a sheen on the tarmac. Not Barry Sheen, no. Different kind of sheen. Stopped raining in Offaly. Found a 4-part RoboCop movie on YouTube, surprisingly good. Do you know, Google is obviously it's the biggest search engine in the world, isn't it? YouTube is the second biggest search engine. There's just an insane amount of stuff on there. things that we don't ever even think about looking for. If you looked for it, you'd find them. It's mad. It is mad ting fam, I think the phrase is. There's one with Guy Pearce about early New Zealand. Guy Neighbours Pearce. Like Casper and how do we send you pictures? I got some good pictures as well when it was round here. Especially through the tree that we've got at the back. Just in the background, the light there made it look as though like there was Glastonbury going on in the background. Glastonbury in High Park. YouTube and Google use the same meta tags they do because they're owned by the same company. Naturally. But it is more stuff is typed into Google and then YouTube than anywhere else. Which means, in theory, we should do alright as creators. Which is why I keep getting emails. Another one. Hello sir, have you seen my last 2 emails? I'm waiting for your reply. I'm going to have to reply back now, aren't I? Hi. Foxtrot Oscar. Thank you for your interest. Now I'm being nice here. What do we think of this? Is this a nice letdown? Hang on, almost. Right, hi Tanya. Thank you for your interest in helping my channel, but I don't think my particular style of content is suitable for SEO. Thanks and good luck with the book. Sent. Need to put a picture in the RDA from York. Nice little canal side cottage. I love canals. Just some of the most beautiful areas. There's a great channel about some woman who's into art and animals and stuff and chilling, into chilled vibes. She's always showing fantastic video of animals that other people just go past in the boat. It's mad. Love that. Should watch that more often, I think. Canal stuff's brilliant. Be careful when you're putting canal action. Don't make any spelling mistakes with that though. Don't know what it's called. Good film. I'll check that out. Guy Pearce. That is a good letdown. There's one fella who's messaged me again today, funnily enough. I have recently sent you an interesting email. You've sent me about 30 or 40. I've not replied because it's not in my best interest. Nobody is going to search for what I do. People search for the best camera settings for a Sony ZV-E10. People actually physically search for that. They don't search for what I do, so it's just stupid. I know you want to make money, but I can't help you out. Go and haunt someone else. But thank you anyway. Love to live on a barge, Sparkles won't let you. Is that because you've not invited her to live with you on there? Is this what this is? You're not disappearing on your own up and down the highways and byways. It looks a great life if you're into that kind of thing, especially getting rid of having tons of stuff. I've seen people talk about that. I had a big house that was just full of stuff, and then because we had to leave to move into the barge, threw away almost everything, and We've now got so much clothing, so much that no trinkets anymore. It's all just down to what we actually need, and it's a much better life. I like stuff like that. I like hearing people have improved themselves. Go glamping instead. Glogging, we had that the other week, didn't we? Glam dogging. You've invited it, it's the little flies that hang around water. They also seem to hang around sand dunes. Not nice, hover flies. But it's an entire little ecosystem of its own, isn't it? I mean, genuinely, the middle of London, the middle of Birmingham, the middle of Liverpool, there's canals going right through the centre of them. People just walk past and barely even notice. There's an entire ecosystem down there. It is like glamping on a barge, it is definitely. You don't look for the best dogging spots in Southport. In Soviet Russia, best dogging spots in Southport look for you. It'd be nice. It would be nice. But there's Impatient Lash, best viewers on. I'll check that out, honest. Loads of people seem to be moving onto barges. Does it suit everyone? That's the thing now, isn't it? There's another channel where they give up the barge because it wasn't working out for them. Someone else had tried that, has tried van life, and they still can't find what they're looking for. Wasn't Bono, by the way. But at what point? Where do you keep on going? Oh, Connor.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Level 8, fantastic. At what point do you stop and go, do you know what? Maybe the house is where we should be living. We've tried a barge, we've tried van life, it isn't working out for us. Unless you want to go and live in a monastery up, Shishapanga or something. I don't know. Can get from me to you rather on the canals. You can. Might take a week, be a peaceful week, and no bugger can steal the wheels. Absolutely, you can. There's a marina just up the road from where I am. Is it Heaton's Bridge? Is that what the marina's called? Or Skaysbrook Marina? Might be Skaysbrook. Skaysbrook Marina, there you go, that's the nearest one. That is less than 3 miles away from where I am. And that one, I think, will take you can go to Preston from there. You can go down to Liverpool, go to Leeds, go through Manchester. All of it. It's all connected, obviously, but it is just down the road. You could even walk it if I wasn't knackered. But it is lovely. And it is literally just down there. Just down there. A weekend barge, a weekend glamping. There you go, we can do that. Proper compromise. Ali's on 36. Glam barming. That sounds like something else. I don't know what that sounds like, but it sounds interesting. Glam barming. And of course, the people that like to watch on the canals are called gongoozlers. Did you know that? If you like to go and watch rather than get involved. Sort of narrowboat voyeurism is called gongoozling. You're a gongoozler. Manchester Canal goes past your house about a mile away. It's boss, isn't it? Like I say, these things are just, they're there and no one takes much notice. And then they are a little world of their own. I've seen some people saying there's certain spots that you'd expect to be really dodgy and rough. And the people are all nice. No one bothers you, you know, a decent night's kip. Other places where you think it's going to be high class, just full of absolute knobheads. Nice little mooring spot next to a pub. You can't ask for more. Lovely, and the barges, the boats themselves are gorgeous. Man, you prefer someone with proper plumbing and proper electrics, obviously. They have got proper plumbing on them. Well, proper-ish. You have to empty things out occasionally. But it works. And it's all part of that sort of getting back to nature kind of thing, isn't it? Reducing what you rely on. Reducing the amount of tech that you rely on. But most of these boats, they've got solar panels, they've got running water, heated water. Log burners. The lot. Connor's channel name, it should be the same, shouldn't it? Oh, hang on, hat-trick, lads.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
It is, it is. It's not 7, you're up to 8, according to the system. I thought that was wrong. But there you go, yeah. Steve just fell asleep. No worries, mate. Night to you, night to Helen, and Ruby Roo. Go and get your head down, fella. I used to walk along it to Hollingsworth Lake, quick pint on the beach, and then walk back. Lovely stuff. That's what you like to see. And there's, along the entire canal network, there's loads of these places where there's boss little pubs at the side. Just... And everyone seems to have a dog, so everyone's happy. There's brilliant. It seems to be a lifestyle. Like, if you're into it, you're really into it. But also, if you're not really into the boating side of things, just go to the pub, enjoy the atmosphere. Not exactly emptying it. Yes, that's for mechanical stuff to get rid of. Bye bye. But then you don't need to worry about anyone else. You're there on your own. You're a self-sufficient little an island amongst yourself. Been chatting shite all night. You never chat shite, mate. You never do, lads. Yeah, the more shite you talk, the more you level up. The faster you scream, or the louder you scream, the faster the ride, rather. Shabba. As it should be. Oh, man. There's bits of me clicking. Things shouldn't click this much. Ouchie, ouchie. I need to pick up my meds tomorrow as well. Remind me tomorrow I need to pick up my meds. I'm running out. Bit of Clash on the go. Let's have it. Skaysbit Marina. I'm going to have to go there this week, I think. Just go and check it out. Take my camera with me. See what it's like. Should be grand. It is getting to that point, isn't it? It is 11 o'clock virtually, so we'll start clearing up with what's on the screen, because you know what's coming next. You know what's coming. This happens all the time, man. You talk shite all the time, but you're only level 11. It's the quality though, isn't it? The quality shite. Pick up your meds. Thank you, Mandy. I need a reminder on that. Better get to bed as well. No worries. Catch you later, lads. Ta-ra, sparkles. And get your dancing shoes on because it's dance time.
Had a good, gentle, the art joke. I'll get in a hot tub for a post-stream soap.
And that's that.
Hoo-yah!